Well, hello, everybody, and a very happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I don't know if this will post on Thanksgiving Day. It may be the day after Thanksgiving. I'm making this video on Thanksgiving afternoon. I am in a hotel room in Georgia where I came to visit with all of my children. All my kids live in Georgia, and I was able to come over, thankfully, and uh, see all of them for Thanksgiving and have lunch with them. And yes, I ate too much, but don't we all on Thanksgiving? I'm full of turkey and full of ham. I'm full. And now it's in the afternoon, and I'm back in my hotel room resting, and I'll return home tomorrow. So again, I hope all of you are having or had a wonderful Thanksgiving day. It's a wonderful time for all of us, I know. I wanted to cover in this video the selections that Donald Trump has made for his cabinet, his incoming cabinet. I've waited a while to talk about this because I wanted to give him time to kind of fill in the blanks and see in which direction he was going. To sum it all up, some of these picks are an absolute home run as far as I'm concerned. Some of them left me scratching my head, and some of them I really dislike. But I want to go through some of them and just give you my overall assessment of Trump's picks. I'm assuming most of these people will be confirmed, seeing as how the Republicans are going to take control of the Senate in January. But then again, I don't know, because we've got senators, rhinos, and they're like Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins and John Cornyn and Mitch McConnell and some of these people who would be more at home, I believe, with the Democrats. But whatever, that's who we have right now, and we do have the majority. Hopefully, they will play ball with Trump. Let's go through a few of these picks. I'm not going to go through all of them. They're just too many, which is another point in and of itself. And I'll tell you what I think briefly about each of these. I was not real thrilled with the selection of Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. I would rather have seen somebody whose philosophy would be more in line with a Rand Paul or someone like that. I guess he could have done worse with Rubio, but I fully expect Rubio to be confirmed, and we'll just have to hope for the best. Of course, he named Bobby Kennedy as his Secretary of Health and Human Services. I'm conflicted about Bobby Kennedy because he is, in my estimation, he is dead wrong about a lot of stuff. He is historically a liberal Democrat, but Bobby Kennedy is spot on when it comes to issues that are dealing with the food that is manufactured in America. Keyword there is manufactured. And of course, the vaccines. He is right on the money on those issues. So I think overall he's a good pick. I don't really have a problem with that. And I hope that he will. I hope heads will roll at HHS with Bobby Kennedy coming in, because they should. Now, here's a pick that is an absolute home run, if you ask me, and that is a man by the name of Russ Vought, Vought. Russ Vought is coming in as the director of the Office of Management and Budget. Now, Tucker Carlson did a recent interview with Russ Vought, which I highly recommend. You can find it on YouTube. Just do a search for Tucker Carlson and look up his interview with Russ Vought, Vought. I'm really impressed with this guy, and I think he will do very well in that office. Another pick that he made is the United Nations ambassador, Elise Stefanik. She, of course, is a Republican congressional representative from New York. She is fairly powerful in her current position. I don't have any love lost for the United Nations. The United Nations is nothing to me but an anti-American body, basically. But that's where Stefanik is going. Before I forget it, let me just jump ahead. I think it's generally a bad idea to take people who are already holding seats in Congress, be they in the Senate or in the House, because when you do that, you're giving up a seat, a valuable seat. They're hard enough to get. And to pull Rubio out of the Senate or pull Stefanik out of the Congress is a dicey proposition, because you could possibly lose that seat. This happened in Trump's first term. Trump made a really bad mistake in naming former Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions as his attorney general. You may well remember that. And about the time that Sessions was sworn in, he basically washed his hands, Pontius Pilate style, and had nothing to do with all the investigations surrounding Trump. And Trump was very disappointed in Sessions, as was I. But what happened back in Alabama is that seat was vacated, and they had to have a special election, and a Democrat wound up taking that seat, Doug Jones, who was a liberal Democrat from Alabama, if you can believe that. He's gone now. That seat was eventually taken by Tommy Tuberville, so we've got a decent senator back in that seat now. But it's always a risky proposition to pull somebody out of a sitting seat that they already hold. Pardon me, I'm full of Thanksgiving. Here's a home run. Department of Defense Pete Hegseth. Really impressed with this guy. I think he's an excellent pick for Secretary of Defense. From what I've seen, he is I heard him say the other day, no women in combat. I completely agree with that. He is anti-woke. And if there's anywhere we don't need wokeness, it's within the military. I just spent a little time with my beautiful granddaughter, Hannah. Hannah is she is, oh my goodness, she's an airman. Her rank is airman, first class in the United States Air Force. My beautiful Hannah, I love you, sweetheart. Hannah is about to leave the States. She's currently based in Biloxi, Mississippi, but she's being shipped out to South Korea. She's going to be on an Air Force base in Posan, I believe it is. She's going to be there for 1 year, and then they are shipping her to Germany for 4 years. So I'm proud of Hannah. She's my oldest grandchild. I'm really proud of her. Secretary of the Veterans Affairs is Doug Collins. Doug Collins is a former congressman from Georgia. He was excellent. So I suppose he'll do well there. Doug Burgum ran for the presidency. He is going to be serving as Secretary of the Interior. Linda McMahon is going to be the Secretary of Education, and I'm hoping that Trump has told her that she is presiding over the elimination of that department. I don't know if that's the case or not. Trump has said he's going to end the Department of Education. That does need to happen. I hope that he has told Linda McMahon that that's what's going to happen. Time will tell. We shall see. We're pulling South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem out of her office and making her the Director of Homeland Security. I'm ambivalent about Noem. I guess she'll be okay in that department. Another department that doesn't need to exist. It's a department that Bush Jr. created after 9/11, if you'll remember. Now, here's a home run for you. Maybe the best pick of all. Tulsi Gabbard is going to be serving as Director of National Intelligence. Isn't it interesting that Tulsi Gabbard, during the Biden regime years, was put on the terror watch list? And now she's going to be the Director of National Intelligence. So we shall see how Tulsi does there. Tulsi is a throwback anti-war gal, and we need more of that in Washington, that's for sure. This may be the worst pick of all, although I don't know what kind of an effect it may have. Trump has selected as his Surgeon General pick a woman by the name of Jeanette, and I'm going to butcher her last name, Neshawat. It's Neshawat. Jeanette Neshawat is going to be serving as Surgeon General. This woman was pro-vax, pro-mask. She was on the wrong side of COVID. and Trump has picked her to be his Surgeon General. The bigger question I have about this pick is, why do we need a Surgeon General? Indeed, why do we need a lot of these people? Why do we need so many of these departments? Be that as it may, Trump could have selected somebody like Ben Carson for Surgeon General. He could have picked Simone Gold as Surgeon General. Why he would pick Jeanette Nishawat, a pro-vax, pro-mask person, I'm mystified by this choice. And I wish he had not made it, but it is what it is. And we go on and on and on. Perhaps my favorite pick of all, other than Tulsi Gabbard, is the selection of Tom Homan to be the border czar. I don't think this is a cabinet level appointment. Tom Homan is a no-nonsense guy who is absolutely pro-deportation of illegal aliens. This is a refreshing change from the current border czar who just lost in the presidential election. I think it's quite a step up, quite an improvement. And of course, I have to mention the dream team, if you will. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who was my choice for president, of course. They're going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, of course, the truth of the matter is this is a department that it's not cabinet level. It's not as if they can say we're cutting this and cutting that and it has any effect. They're basically just identifying things that need to be cut or eliminated. But whether that actually happens is anybody's guess. But I'm a big fan of Vivek Ramaswamy, as you know. And Elon Musk has been a real boon, of course, to Trump. Here's my overall assessment, folks. I'm not going to get my heart broken by any political candidate or any politician ever again. I knew what Trump was going in. I supported him. I wanted him to win the presidency, and he won it. And the way that I feel about the matter is everything else is gravy. As long as Harris was kept out of the White House, that's a win, okay? He's not going to make picks that I'm going to be happy with down the line. Some I will like, some I will not like. Trump's going to do things I do not agree with. He's going to do things I don't like. But better Trump than Harris. Now, I think you could make an argument that Trump is basically trying to build a coalition with people from all different walks of life and political philosophy and what have you. Perhaps that's what he's doing. I wouldn't have selected a lot of these people that he's selected. But I always come back to this fact. It could be a President Harris coming into office, and it's enough for me that Kamala Harris did not win and Donald Trump did win. The rest, we'll see what happens. I was very disappointed. I didn't mention this. Trump really hit a home run with selecting Matt Gaetz to be his attorney general. But because of the aforementioned rhinos, such as Murkowski and Collins and the Romneys and the Cornyns and McConnells of the world, he wasn't going to get the votes. He just didn't have the support, so he pulled himself out of the running, and Trump replaced Gaetz with Pam Bondi, who is a former attorney general from the state of Florida. The jury's out on Pam Bondi. We'll see what happens. Maybe she'll be good. I don't know. What I want, if I can be frank with you, is vengeance. I want somebody that is going to go after these people who are responsible for all the upheaval of the last 4 years. There are people that I want to see in orange jumpsuits. And I'm talking about some big dogs. People like Clinton, people like Obama, people like Letitia James, people like Fannie Willis, people like Adam Schiff. I know a lot of this is not going to happen, but I'm telling you, Trump via Pam Bondi needs to go after some of his political enemies. It's as simple as that. We need to see the visual of some of these high-profile people doing a perp walk, because we have got to send a message, folks, to the Democrats. You're not going to mess with us like this anymore, and we need to make an example out of some high-profile people and put the fear of God in them, as far as I'm concerned. That needs to happen. They need to identify some high-profile Democrats. How about James Comey? How about Christopher Wray? How about the guy, the attorney? Oh, his name escaped. Jack Smith, the attorney who went after Trump. Help me out down in the comments. We need to go after these people. We need to make an example out of them. We need to put the fear of God in them, that it's a new day. You know, the Democrats are going to accuse Trump, as I've said, of being a dictator. Well, they're going to say that regardless. Go ahead and act like one. More than anything, I want Trump to bring us back from the edge of World War III. And Trump can do that with a couple of phone calls. We have got to end the hostilities with Russia. We have got to end the hostilities with Iran and China and other nations. We have got to get ourselves out of the Ukraine conflict, out of Israel and Gaza. It's none of our business. We need to tend to our own affairs. I'm somewhat optimistic about this. I think it's certainly going to improve from where it is now. I don't think it could get any worse than it is now. But Trump is naming some other people who are not necessarily, not that they would be pro-Russia, but, you know, people like General Kellogg is no friend to Russia at all. So we shall see what happens. I hope that Tulsi Gabbard can bend Trump's ear. I'm not saying we have to get in bed with Russia, but I am saying we need to normalize relations with Russia. There's no reason not to. And hopefully Trump will turn the jets off and bring us back from the brink of where we are right now, which is on the brink of World War III. And I believe Trump knows that, and I believe he knows what to do. I hope he does. That's my assessment of the incoming Trump cabinet. Let me know your thoughts down below. Again, happy Thanksgiving to you, one and all, and I'll see you soon.